Today we will be learning the experiment from Analog Circuits Lab, which is a symmetrical or stable multivibrator. We will be studying this multivibrator with a 555 timer IC. So we will also be learning the pin diagram of the same IC. As I have displayed the pin diagrams here, the major pin functionalities have been shown. So pin number 1 is connected to ground. Pin number 2 is connected to the trigger point. Pin number 3 is the output. Pin number 4 is the reset pin. Pin number 8 is connected to VCC. Pin number 6 is threshold pin. Pin number 7 is the discharge pin. Here we have to pay attention to some of the connections. One of the most clumsy connection is pin number 7, 6 and 2. So students have to be very attentive when you are connecting 7, 6 and 2. So when you connect two resistors in series first, so pin number 6 should have RB with a value of 6.8 kilo ohm. Pin number 7 should be connected to RA with a value of 6.8 kilo ohm. And pin number 6 should be shorted with pin number 2, and the same short should be connected to the capacitor 0.1 microfarad. Okay, so this part has to be paid more attention, right? So let me show you how it is connected in the hardware. So this is the hardware connection regarding your stable asymmetric multivibrator. Okay, so pin number 1 is connected to ground. This is our ground point, and we have connected, this is our ground point, and we have connected pin number 1 to the ground point. First connection is done. Next connection is pin number 2. Pin number 2 should be connected to a capacitor of 0.1 microfarad. So this is the connection where we are connecting a capacitor of 0.1 microfarad, and here I have shorted the other end of the capacitor to ground, because you can see in the circuit diagram the other end of the capacitor should be connected to ground. Okay, so that is this connection. This is connected to 1 because 1 is connected to ground, right? So this is about pin number 2. Next connection is pin number 3. Pin number 3 is the output pin, which is supposed to be connected to the CRO. So this is the CRO output probe connected to pin number 3. Next is pin number 4. So pin number 4, as you can see in the circuit diagram, you have pin number 4 and 8 shorted together and connected to VCC. So let us see that pin number 4 and pin number 8 are shorted through this yellow wire. Pin number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pin number 4 and pin number 8 are shorted and they are connected to VCC positive. So I have connected this to VCC positive from pin number 8. You can see where this positive wire is coming from. It is coming from pin number 8. This is the pin number 8. Pin number 8, which is shorted with pin number 4. Shorted with pin number 4. Alright, that's very important connection. 4 and 8 shorted. 4 and 8 shorted and connected to VCC positive. VCC positive. One should be careful about thing in the power supply that this should not be considered as a ground point. This should be this negative polarity should be considered as the ground point. So here you can see I have connected the negative polarity to the ground point. Please note, this is not the ground point. This negative polarity should be considered as the ground connection for the power supply, right? So now we have connected pin number 8 to VCC positive and VCC negative connected to ground, right? Next, coming to pin number 6. Pin number 6 should have an RB of 6.8 kilo ohm. So 5 and 6. So it is connected to a resistor. You can see pin number 6 is connected to a resistor 6.8 kilo ohm. Similarly, pin number 7 is connected to another resistor 6.8 kilo ohm. Now, this 6.8 kilo ohm at pin number 8 should be connected, which is the other end of pin number 7. Okay. So, this resistor other end will go to pin number 8. Okay. The other end of this resistor should go to pin number 8. Pin number 5 is not included. Pin number 5 should be connected to a capacitor which is 0.01 microfarad, and pin number 5 is connected one end of the pin number, the other end of the pin number 5, the other end of the capacitor should be connected to ground. So pin number 5 should have a capacitor 0.01 and other end of the capacitor should be connected to ground. So be careful of this connection. As you can see, pin number 5 is the control pin which is connected to a capacitor. So see that first. Pin number 5 is here. I have connected it to a capacitor and other end of the capacitor should go to ground. This is the ground point. So other end of the capacitor is connected to the ground. Okay. And you can also note that pin number 1 should also be connected to the other end of the capacitor. Pin number 1 should also be connected to the other end of the capacitor, which is nothing but the other end of capacitor is nothing but the ground point. Pin number 1 should be connected to the other end of the capacitor. Pin number 1 is connected to the other end of the capacitor, which is nothing but the ground point. Okay. So this is the connection. Next, you see to it that this end of resistor is shorting pin number 2. This end of the resistor is shorting pin number 2. So this red wire I am talking about, this is the short between pin number 6 and 2. Short between pin number 6 and 2. Okay. So this was about the connection of the board. We are using, as I told, 555 timer IC which is inserted in the IC socket. Pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay. Now I have connected the output to pin number 3 and black probe of the CRO to ground point. And power supply I have set it to plus 5 volts. Power supply is set to plus 5 volts. So this is the nature of the output waveform on the CRO. Okay. This is the nature of the output waveform on the CRO. Let us see what is the expected waveform. Looking at the expected waveform, What are the tabulations that we have to make? This is the expected waveform for the given experiment. Expected waveform for the given experiment. So you can see that at pin number 6, you are supposed to observe a square wave output, and that square wave should be such that T on should be high and T off should be less. How much high and how much less? For that you can refer the tabular column which has listed so that for which we have listed a tabular column with the theoretical value. So we have to keep these theoretical values as a reference. T on should be theoretically 0.75 milliseconds and T off should be theoretically 0.25 milliseconds. We should note down practical T on and practical T off. Okay, this we have to observe at pin number 3. Okay, and then we have to observe this at pin number 6. So we have to observe V charging and V discharging at pin number 6. Theoretical values of V charging should be 3.3 and theoretical values of V discharging should be 1.6. Let us note what is the practical value. Okay, so right now I have connected the output to pin number 3. So when I connect to pin number, now it is connected to pin number 3. 6. Right now it is connected to pin number 6. Pin number 6, this is the nature of the waveform. So you can see I have connected the probe to pin number 6. And when you connect it at pin number 6, okay, this is the expected graph at pin number 6. This output is called as charging and discharging waveform. And what is the meaning of charging and discharging? It is the capacitor charging and discharging. Okay, so due to the capacitor which we have connected at pin number 2, which is shorted to 6, you have the charging and discharging operation, and it will be charged and discharged with respect to VCC. Okay, so VCC value is 5 volts. So based on the VCC value, we are going to calculate the charging voltage and discharging voltage. To calculate that, we have to keep it in DC, and we are very familiar with DC operation. First ground, okay, and then first ground it, bring it on to the reference axis, and then put it to DC, and then release the ground knob. Okay, let me show it once again, you might have forgotten. So first put it to ground, bring it to the reference line, press the DC knob, and then release the ground knob. So you can observe the DC shift. Now measure from the reference line. It measures 1 to 1 point, it's not completely 2 boxes, it is 1 point, it is 1.7, it is 1.7 from the reference line, 1.2, 0.4, 0.6. Okay, so little bit above 0.6, so we can take it as 1.65 milliseconds. Okay, from the reference line to the bottom peak is 1.65, and then millivolts, sorry, this is voltage, so 1.65 volts only, because VCC is 5 volts. So you have volts only. So this is 1.65 volts. Now from the reference line to the positive peak, how much we have? 1, 2, 3, 3.4. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 3.4. 3.4 volts. Okay. So that was, is it matching the theoretical value? So V charging theoretically was 3.3 and we have practically got 3.4 volts, and V discharging theoretically was 1.65, practically we have got 1.66, practically we have got 1.65 volts. Okay, now let us connect to pin number 3. So now we have changed the connection to pin number 3. So at pin number 3, this is the nature of the output waveform. Okay, we are supposed to measure T on and T off, and when we are measuring time, we should measure the horizontal axis. So bring the horizontal axis, right? So now you can measure horizontal axis of the T on square wave. It is approximately 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.65, or if I adjust exactly at the origin, yeah, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.7, because it is in between 0.6 and 0.8, so we can take it as 0.7 into 1 millisecond. So T on is 0.7 into 1 millisecond, whereas T off is, so we will adjust T off. So it is 0.6. 0.6 or how much? So it is 0.4, almost little, if I adjust precisely 0.4. So you can see T off here. 0.2 is the first division and 0.4 is the second division. So 0.4 is the T off into 1 millisecond. 0.4 into 1 millisecond. So T on is, theoretically we had to get 0.75. Practically we are getting 0.7 millisecond. T off, theoretically it should be 0.25. T off, practically we are getting 0.4 millisecond. So you have to tabulate theoretical, you have to tabulate your practical values. Okay. So this is regarding your experiment conduction. Its design and its theoretical explanation will be a follow-up video. Thank you.